When I'm fishing really toothy critters like mako sharks, there's a specific rig that I like to use with steel leader. Basically, I take 120 pound stainless steel leader. I cut off about 3 feet, and I like stainless wire because for me it's easier to deal with. Okay, I get an 8/0 hook, 8/0 musthead hook, and the first knot that I use is called a Haywire Twist. The Haywire Twist is the knot of choice when you're tying with heavy stainless steel wire. So basically, you put this through the tag end of the stainless steel through the eye of the hook, okay? And you're going to create a loop like this, okay? And that's your loop right there, all right? Now you're going to do a series of X wraps. So this is considered an X wrap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I'll do one more just because. 6. Okay. Once you make your X wraps, and you can see, you want to bend your tag in 90 degrees. And the reason why you do that is because the next step in the Haywire Twist is making a series of barrel wraps, which are very tightly woven wraps that ensures that these X wraps don't come undone under stress, when they're under tension when you're fighting a big fish. This is what you do. Okay, so barrel wraps. So you go 1, and it takes a little bit of practice to do this, but once you get it, you'll figure it out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so there are your barrel wraps right there. Okay, and I'll go ahead and I'll kind of straighten that out a little bit. Now the next thing is really important. You want to break this tag end off smoothly. A lot of people will go in and they'll try to clip it with a pair of pliers, and you'll have a very sharp little tag on the end of that, and that's bad because it can cut your finger. It can also nick your tippet material, which will, potentially you'll lose a fish if that monofilament breaks. So what you do is this: you take this tag and you bend it straight up and down like this until it breaks cleanly. And you see how quickly that broke. So if you took your fingers and you ran it across those barrel wraps, you wouldn't be able to feel any sort of tag end, and that's what you want. You don't want that tag end on the end of those barrel wraps. So don't be lazy. I've seen people really lazy and they'll clip it off and then they regret it because they, as I said, they cut their finger, they're bleeding all over the deck, or they lose a fish because that tag end nicked their tippet. All right, so we've got that. Okay, so that's the hook. That's your first Haywire Twist. Now, I use tube flies when I'm targeting big mako sharks. So I've got my tube fly here. What I'll do is I'll take that and I'll slide that down the steel leader like this. Boom, there you go. Okay, so we're pretty much ready to go, except now I have to do a Haywire Twist at this end. But the difference with this Haywire Twist is I'm going to add a 50-pound tuna ring or a welded ring, which is right here. Fairly small, it's low profile. But the welded ring is really great for making connections with your monofilament to your stainless steel leader. It makes it very quick, and the quicker you are getting that done, the quicker you're in the water to catch those fish. You take that tag in, you run it through, and you want to create a nice loop once again, just like you did with the hook. Okay? I'm going to condense that down, and once again, X wraps. Now, since I don't have a hook to hold on to, pliers are pretty much critical in doing this. I can usually do it without pliers, but on a tipping boat and with wet hands, it's really important to get a good grip. So the pliers always work really well. So I'm holding it very tightly, and we're going to do our X wraps. Okay? And like I said, the more you do this, the easier it's going to become. At first, it might seem pretty difficult, but like anything else, practice makes perfect. Okay, so there, we've got our X wraps. Okay, X wraps, 50-pound welded ring, and once again, we've got that 90 degree. So what do we need to do? We need to make a series of barrel wraps with that. So we'll do that. Okay. And this is where it can get difficult because the barrel wraps really put a lot of tension as it rotates around. So that that loop and those X wraps will kind of rotate around, so you got to really work that. And once you get that first barrel wrap going, then it'll be a lot easier, but it's just getting it started that makes it difficult. There we go, we got it, okay. Really get a good grip on it. And even the best pliers sometimes just, they don't really grab on the way you'd want it, because you're creating a lot of torque and a lot of tension while you're spinning that around. And that's basically it. So this is my shark fishing rig for whatever mako shark I'm targeting, whether it's an average size fish of 80 pounds or even the big 200, 300, 400 pound fish. This is what I'm using. This has been tested and true. I've been doing this for 25 years. I've been doing the same thing for 25 years. And I will tell you this, I have never had a mako shark bite through this system or break it.